Most traders are chasing better entries, faster indicators, or secret signals, but they ignore the one thing that determines everything else: how they think. I've seen it over and over. Two people use the same strategy, one makes money, the other blows up. It's not the setup, it's their mindset. In this video, I'm breaking down 10 rare but powerful trading mindsets that almost no one adopts, but they should. I'll also share a few real examples, including how I lost $3,000 in one trade and what I learned the hard way. If you've been stuck, frustrated, or close to quitting, this might be the shift you need. Let's get into it. I don't need to be right to make money. Sounds crazy, right? But hear me out. I know traders with a 40% or even less win rate, and they're printing. Why? Because their average win is 3 times their average loss. Meanwhile, someone else with a 70% win rate keeps blowing up because they let one loss wipe out a week of gains. Think poker. Pros don't win every hand, they play the odds. You're not paid to be right, you're paid to manage risk and stay consistent. Every time you try to be right, you're trading for your ego, not your account. Uncertainty is my advantage. The market thrives on uncertainty. That's literally where opportunity is born. Most people try to eliminate it with 10 indicators and macro predictions, but the best traders embrace it. They understand that uncertainty is where the crowd gets scared and where the edge begins. Take asymmetric setups. You risk $100 to potentially make $300 or more, but only if you're okay being uncertain. Mark Douglas said it best: you don't need to know what's going to happen next to make money. That blew my mind the first time I heard it, and it changed everything. Flat is a position. I used to think that being out of the market was slacking, but over time I realized doing nothing is often doing something smart. Picture this: a trader forces a trade out of boredom. They take a low conviction setup, it goes against them, and now they're in revenge mode. The spiral begins. On the other hand, the trader who waits, who sits in cash, who journals instead of trades, often ends the week green. The patience mindset isn't passive, it's intentional. Cash is a position, and sometimes it's the most powerful one. My job is to execute, not predict. This is where so many blow it. They try to be macroeconomists, Fed whisperers, global news experts. Let's be real. How often do your predictions actually play out the way you imagine? I used to spend hours preparing predictions. Now, I show up with a framework, look for my triggers, and I execute. Execution creates results. Prediction creates anxiety. Let the market show its hand. Your job is to respond, not guess. Now, a quick pause before we hit the next mindset, because if you're serious about your trading, you need a serious platform. That's why Ironbeam is today's video sponsor.
Welcome to Ironbeam, the future of futures trading. With our cutting-edge chart trading feature and 300+ indicators, you can now trade directly off the chart anytime, anywhere. Delivering seamless trading across all platforms, the Ironbeam journey is supported by 24-hour trader support, low day trade margins, and no account minimums. Ironbeam brings the future into the present. Join now and augment your trading experience.
All right, back into the mindsets that actually move the needle. Every trade is just one in a series. Ever felt like one trade would make or break you? That's dangerous thinking. Real traders don't think in outcomes, they think in batches. If you flipped a weighted coin 100 times, where heads wins $2, tails loses $1, you'd want to flip it as many flips as possible. Trading is the same. One trade doesn't define you, the series does. I stopped grading myself on whether I won today and started tracking how well I followed my process across 20 trades. That is where consistency is born. Discipline is my edge, not my system. You could buy a course, copy a strategy, but if you can't stick to the plan when emotions hit, it won't matter. I once handed a friend my exact trading system. 1 week later, he was down bad. Why? He couldn't sit through the drawdowns, chased his entries, and ignored stop losses. Trading is simple, but it's not easy. Your true edge isn't your chart setup, it's your ability to follow rules under pressure. I trade my plan, not my emotions. You ever feel great until you hit that first red candle and suddenly your whole plan goes out the window? Emotions will hijack your logic every time. That's why I write down my plan before the bell. Price levels, trade triggers, size, all of it. Then when things heat up, I just follow the plan. No thinking, just executing. Don't let fear or excitement trade your account. They'll always blow it up. Losses are tuition, not failure. Let me tell you about one of the worst trades I've ever taken. I broke my rules, chased an extended move, oversized the position, and lost over $3,000 in minutes. At first, I was sick, embarrassed, I thought about quitting. But once I cooled off, I journaled everything. What triggered the impulse, where my logic broke down, what emotions I felt. That trade taught me more than a dozen winners ever could. Losses hurt, but they're also your best teacher if you choose to learn. I can always re-enter. Here's a trap I fell into over and over. I'd take a trade, it would stop me out, and then it would run without me. So I'd FOMO back in, late, emotional, no plan, and lose again. Now I remind myself, you can always re-enter. If the setup comes back, the market isn't one and done. It's a series of waves. Missing one wave doesn't mean you missed the whole day. Wait, reset, look for the next clean setup that fits your system. Growth happens between trades. Most traders think the game is won during the trade, but the truth? Your biggest growth happens after, when you journal, review, reflect. I treat every weekend like a game film. I look at what worked, what didn't, how I felt, what I ignored. I even grade my emotional control. That process, boring as it sounds, has made me more profitable than any new strategy ever has. If you want to stand out in trading, it's not about having more indicators, it's about thinking differently. These 10 mindsets have helped me go from frustration and doubt to consistency and confidence. Most traders never adopt them. That's why most traders never last. But if you're still here, you're not most traders. Let me know in the comments which mindset you're going to start working on later this week. Like this video if it hit home, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.